worldwide.
The past 24 hours, man, I've been battling a crazy bug. But as I told my family, my body does not make a suitable host for these guys. They've put out crazy Google reviews telling all their homies that, nah, that guy over there does not make a suitable host. So right now, as we speak, man, I'm on the tail end of whatever it may be that was trying to infiltrate my body. The weather is transitioning, and yeah, but I'm here. Couldn't miss this opportunity, man. And man. Apparently, this happened that we have to discuss what might be notably in the past decade the biggest level of squandering opportunity, wasted talent, the inability to transition from the street world, the underworld, to the corporate world, an inability to say, you know what, just like Rick Ross said, let me negotiate, man, because I can get 10 million over there, man. And I know originally I signed for 100,000, but I can get 10 M's over there. Maybe I can cut the parent company a million just to release me or whatever, right? It's all about negotiating. But in case you don't know, I'm talking specifically about Pooh Shiesty and the whole situation with him, Big 30, his dad, which is what is it, Mob Boss Senior, and I think five other members, you know. And it's very unfortunate that the inability to negotiate, discuss, or figure things out has resulted in this right here. So apparently, this happened. The Department of Justice is releasing a press conference discussing exactly what took place. And we're going to get a breakdown of everything that has resulted in Pooh Shiesty, yes, ultimately getting rearrested just after being released in January, man. This is like blowing my mind, bro. Maybe it is true. Maybe some guys like jail or don't mind it. But before we even get into that, I go by the name of Caesar, aka Mr. Sneaker Rider, and you're tuned in to Apparently This Happened. And apparently this happened. Pooh Shiesty's back in jail because he allegedly robbed Gucci Mane and had him in execution style, hands behind his back, on his knees. They robbed him.
Studio in Dallas, Texas.
So let's pull this back.
8 of the 9. I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30,
Yep.
Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims.
We're going to cut to the chase, okay? One of the victims is Radrick Davis, a.k.a. Mr. Ice Cream Man, a.k.a. or, like, you know, after Master P, the next Ice Cream Man, a.k.a. Burr, a.k.a. Gucci Mane. All right?
As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract.
Again, Jr. or Latrell Williams Jr., that's Pooh Shiesty. The victim who was forced or coerced to sign the contract is none other than Gucci Mane, okay? In case you guys didn't know, Shiesty signed a 1017. Gucci is the owner of 1017. And yeah.
At gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items.
Man.
One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright, Barrick.
I'm just saying, you know, in situations like this, obviously we do not condone violence, and you know, unless it's like self-defense, we always say that we stand on that, right? But at this point, if you're convincing somebody to sign up you out of a contract, what was the point of choking out whoever it was to a point that they passed out? Everybody's complying. The straps and sticks are out. Everybody's saying, okay, you got it. What would make somebody like, you know, like, okay, I'm just gonna grab this person and choke him? And I think the person who got choked was the cameraman. In case you guys don't know, I'm gonna break it down, man. And if you do enough research, man, like you'll figure out it was the cameraman. Cameraman got choked out. And guess what? Somebody also recorded the incident. Allegedly, Big 30 recorded the incident.
Barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from
That was
escaping.
30 right there, Big 30.
The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida.
Man. So
Towards the end of
him.
his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention.
Yep.
Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims.
That's another thing that I don't understand. I'm not a criminal and I'm not involved in any shape or form with the criminal element, but I'm street smart and I know what I know, right? One of the biggest rules that I think would benefit a lot of people who are living a certain lifestyle is not everything is for everybody. Keep things under wraps, man. Play it close to the chest, man, and be quiet. Proceed with your life accordingly, man, and just like, you know, like lay low. Back in the day, people would commit heists, man. You're not going to the club for a month. You're not doing anything, man. If you had committed a robbery, man, you're not trying to even look like you're spending to anybody. You're trying to make it look like everything is just normal. Everything is kosher, bro. You're just maintaining the status quo of your life, and you know what? You're not raising any red flags. You're not piquing anyone's interest to say, hey, man, like, what? Why is it suddenly Caesar is like, you know, riding in a CLS 550? Like, what's going on with this guy, man? Or whatever like the whip is. Huh? But the need for validation from people is what has us all as a society so caught up in instant gratification. Like, we want people to react so automatically. Oh man, like, look at this watch that I'm wearing. There's so many cases, even where I am, where there are legendary guys who committed certain acts, right? And they kept the proceeds of the crimes that they had committed like trinkets. Back in the day, like, there used to be a quick, like, hey, you get it gone, and don't stay with it. That's common sense, right? You don't keep the evidence, but people are on social media, they're flaunting it, they're indirectly talking about it, they're subbing people about it. Oh, legends get got too tight. Come on, man.
The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendant's roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in...
I'm gonna have to edit this, man, because my kid's going crazy making unnecessary noise once. My bad, y'all.
In violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee, in the coordinated travel of his home detention conditions.
All right.
Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office.
Another thing that's bugging me about this whole situation is, why is it that people feel comfortable committing crimes knowing that everybody is a snitch indirectly? Not willingly, but indirectly, right? You got people on their phones always recording something. They might catch you in the background doing whatever you're doing. In this case, traffic cam, studio cameras. Most studios that most studios, like facts, ask anybody, and I'm talking about the big budget studios, right? They have cameras in them. You're dealing with rappers and guys who got beef with each other, so you gotta have security. So the cameras. What makes people think that you could get away, like, like scot free with a crime and just slide, man, and just, like, disappear and fade into the twilight, into the sunset? Huh? It's not possible, man. Like, everybody is a wire right now. And he was on home confinement, man. Like, he was on house arrest, so you got an ankle monitor. The ankle monitor is going to show every single move, and all they need, man, even if everybody said, okay, we're not going to say a word, all they need is just video proof, and then they're just going to follow the data. And between the data and that's what happened to, like, K-Sue, right? K-Sue, they didn't actually capture him on video, if I understand correctly, man. They used biometrics and everything to kind of, verify that it was him, the posture of his body and everything, the biometric. Yeah, I'm saying.
Supply store and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. In this case, came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task.
Another thing is, like, right now, there's a statement that's floating around, and they're claiming that Radrick Davis, or like they're referring to him in the document as RD, right? But if you know, you know, right? Was one of the people who identified Pooh Shiesty and the rest of the members as the people who committed the crime. But on the flip side, with Gucci Man and his street code, I'm thinking, was he really the person who directly said it? But why would they put his name in the paperwork? Or was it his wife? Or perhaps his security, because I'm hearing allegedly that his security is law enforcement. And folks like Pooh Shiesty and them did not realize that his security is, law enforcement. And they did what they did. And what is law enforcement's obligation? If he took an oath, he's seeing the commission of a crime.
Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work.
We also would like to big up the extraordinary work of City Nash. A lot of publications and a lot of people out there all got their information from City Nash. The first time that I personally heard about this was from City Nash. So is the rest of the internet, unless they're people from Memphis and they were just powwowing and, the streets talk. But City Nash needs to get his credit. Because I know if I broke a story, I'd like to get my credit, man, because that will, benefit me in the furtherance of my brand. But we have to give Seti Nash his props right now, man. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, whether you appreciate his delivery or not, Seti Nash, man, you broke this, man. And that was 2 months ago. And I will admit, I was one of the people who was skeptical because I thought to myself, man, nah, there ain't no way that Shiesty will pull a move like this, man. There ain't no way he's gonna crash out like this, nah.
Work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country. That includes AUSAs Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from.
All right, so I'm not gonna watch this whole thing, man, because it's 14 minutes, and then they're gonna get into the audience and everybody else discussing and asking questions. We have seen enough. I've seen enough, right? Now, how is this gonna play out? Is Gucci Man going to court? Is Keisha Cure going to court to support a man? Is he gonna be on the stand? Does he appreciate being called a victim? Even if technically, if you are on the other side of anything that happens, when you get robbed, shot at, like, anything, automatically you're a victim. So it's not in a derogatory way, it's just the circumstances. In this scenario, he's a victim and the others were involved, right? So my mind is just like, a little bit blown because, like, this guy had a crazy run ahead of him. Sean Cotton was right too. He had at least, like, by the end of this year, with all the shows, the summer opening up, man, he's got a fire song with First Day Out and all that. He would have made at least, like, close to 100 million. Touring and everything, 100 million. And that is just, like, domestically. If he was granted the chance to be able to fly, even if as a felon, I don't know, but a lot of money on the table. Now, ultimately, what's going to happen is this. You held your own boss allegedly at gunpoint, man, to finesse your way out of a contract. Now your old boss is going to own you because you're going to be locked up for life and you're going to be trying to negotiate from behind the wall to get out of the contract. And he's not even going to try to hear you while he continues to eat off of you, man, for all the music that you're making. All the music you made, your whole catalog, everything. He owns it. And he's going to spend it how he sees fit, man. And he's going to give you your cut, no problem, man. But you think you can call him and hey, man, like, what's happening with that payment? He's going to drag his feet. Because you made him a victim. This is unfortunate, man. Very unfortunate. Now, please pardon me. My delivery is a little bit demure, man. A little bit, like, calm, whatever, man. I'm going through the motions, man. I got my, like, I got, like, tea over here and everything, man. I'm going through it, but I'm going to get to it no matter what, man. Like, we don't slack a day. We don't slack a minute, bro. Hail, sleet, snow, rain. We are out here. For real. All right? I go by the name of Caesar, a.k.a. Mr. Sneak Around, and I appreciate one and all for locking in. Do me a super solid like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And you have been tuned into apparently this happened. And today's word of the day is you can finesse the system, but learn how to finesse the system. Because aggressively finessing the system might result in you getting trapped by the system. You feel me? All right, don't chase the number, chase the dream. One.
Worldwide.